Skate. From its first release in 2007 with the first title, the game received positive reviews from critics and was praised for its innovative flick-it control scheme and realistic gameplay. It was even awarded Sports Game of the Year at the 11th Interactive Annual Achievement Awards. Skate outsold the competing Tony Hawk's Proving Ground in the same year. The series continued to build momentum, with its successor Skate 2 and Skate 3 becoming the highest seller of the franchise. Skate 3 has also sold over 4.74 million copies across all consoles, a significant success that surpassed its predecessor Skate 2 and Skate 1, and remains a cult favourite, with continued sales in later years due to its humour, glitches, and the countless funny moments in Let's Plays from YouTubers such as Jacksepticeye and even the Sidemen. It saw more success in October 2020 after a sale on Xbox Live. I myself love to play Skate 3. I was late to the party, I think, by about 3 years. But I remember the fun I had as a kid getting back from school, booting up whatever console I had it on, just to mess around at the Super Ultra Mega Park. Hi, I'm IRLs, and today we're going to be talking about Skate 4. Wait, Skate? Is this really Skate 4, or is this a soulless cash grab from EA? Well, in my opinion, no, it's likely neither of those. Though it's still in early access, Skate has seen very mixed reviews, some dubbing it Fortnite with skateboards, some saying it's a blast from the past. Personally, I'm enjoying it. The vibe of the map is cool, though it lacks more industrial, gritty, almost rural spots like previous Skate games. We have to remember that it's still early access. Even as I'm recording this, they brought out Season 1, which revamped the currency, added new ramps and spots around the map, and some cool new cosmetics. Though I do see some people's gripe about the map, art style, and even graphics, I think it makes up for the fact that it's free, in early access, and is going to be worked on over the course of its further development. So Skate has been out for a few weeks now. I've had the time to get the pros and the cons, in my personal opinion. Remember, don't come for me if you disagree, we're all gamers here. So, we're going to start with the pros. As I've already said, I like the map. It's set in the city of San Vansterdam, rather than Port Carverton, New San Vanalona, and San Vanalona from previous titles. With Skate, though, of course, it could be better. We can say this about a lot of things, but I love how there seems to be a focus on more street-level spots, like the various rails and stair sets, along with banks and gaps sprinkled onto the cupcake there too. It really does capture the feeling of the city being built by skaters, for skaters, which seems to be a running theme for this skate. The NPCs mention some little Skate City details as we do the missions. We're going to talk about the main story missions later on. Another thing I like about Skate is the fact it's colourful. Whilst I do enjoy the grit and the dark vibe of the previous Skate games, this new one is vibrant, which does allow for some nice rides along the seafront promenade and some nice shots of the replay editor. The flick-it controls are smooth, and with the assists in the settings, it's very user-friendly. I suck at most games I play. Only games I've ever been good at, per se, are GTA Online and maybe Minecraft, but then again, it's hard to be bad at Minecraft, really. The missions and challenges are okay for the most part. They're varied in location and requirements. The actual story missions are okay too. They get you exploring every district in San Van, especially with the new addition of climbing and parkour, which I admit I was skeptical when I first seen all those demos years back. But when I played it, I enjoyed it. Having had friends who are skaters, sometimes you do have to climb up to certain spots. Of course, not to the extent we do in Skate, but hey, food for thought. Now, on to the cons. The currency and customization you acquire by doing the missions, daily, weekly, and seasonal tasks. But to spend them, you have to open loot boxes, which is fine. At least you don't have to use real money. And it's not entirely random. You do eventually get everything in them if you open enough of it. Now, there is microtransactions, but by now, what game doesn't have them? Especially with the free-to-play sandbox games. I'm not opposed to real money being used, as long as it's purely cosmetic and doesn't allow for any pay to win, which in Skate doesn't. It is purely cosmetic. However, with previous Skate games, most clothing or board cosmetics were unlockable via missions, which I believe is better. There's nothing more annoying than in the current Skate game than grinding the daily refreshable missions to open a crate, 4 items, and get stickers and a rail. I do hope that adds something similar to what they did in Season 1, but allow us to just buy or unlock clothes as we level up in the districts or our rep score. That's probably my main issue with this game. That, and it's always online. The amount of griefers I encountered when I first played was shocking. I know you can disable public ramps and rails, but I do hope they kind of add some sort of server, like a private server, where it's you and your friends, or maybe a crew like Rockstar did with GTA Online. Now, the voice acting, V, and the dialogue, it seems forced. So much so that when I first encountered the voices, I thought they were AI used to voice the characters themselves. Again, this could be a mock-up, considering it's early access, and they've just released it how it is. But still, V, she'll never be Coach Frank. But at the same time, I do enjoy the change. It's modern, I'll give them that. With this whole modernisation, I believe it's taken away from the gritty, street-level stuff from Skate 3. For example, with Hall of Meat now being replaced with stunting, and that when we slam, it, quote, doesn't hurt because of impervotech. When I heard this, I was really a fan. One of skate's core identities, aside from skating, is throwing yourself off a mega ramp or a building, smashing your skull open and trying to break every bone you have in your body. And I just feel like that's gone with this game. So, my overall thoughts, ratings, would I recommend this game? Well, yeah, it's free. You have nothing to lose. Now, if you wanted the exact feel and vibe of skate games prior, you won't get that exact feeling. But the actual gameplay and the way you skate, the board movement and such, yes, that you will. In my personal opinion, I enjoyed this game. It did give me a boost of dopamine with a side order of nostalgia when I first started skating around. And I did ignore a lot of the missions when I first started playing, apart from the ones that you have to do. I explored the street spots and had a really fun time. My rating for this game is a solid 7.5 out of 10, purely because I know it's unfinished, and a lot of the faults are made up by the fact that it's really fun and it's free. To me, if you enjoy open world sandbox games and previous state titles, or both, give this game a go. You likely won't regret it. There's a lot of improvement they can make, like tattoos, we don't get them, you can't move stickers around on your board, but I think that'll come in good time, especially with the map extensions and, dare I say, private servers. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot. This is my first proper YouTube video with editing and my horrible voice, so of course feedback is appreciated, but don't be a prick. I've been RLs, as always. See ya.